Welcome to Flick News episode 32. This week, we've got a lot of exciting news for you, from the live-action Toys R Us movie to major updates on Toy Story 5 and much more. So,
let's dive right in.
First of all, Combat Carl will officially return in Toy Story 5. Ernie Hudson is set to take over the role, following the passing of Carl Weathers last year at the age of 76 due to atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. Honestly, it's great to see Pixar keeping the character alive while honoring Carl Weathers' legacy. Combat Carl's return could add some fun action energy to the film. Let's just hope he gets more screen time this time around. Then the first look at Andy Serkis' upcoming animated film Animal Farm has been revealed. It's an adaptation of George Orwell's classic novel of the same name and is set to hit theaters on July 11th. The voice cast includes big names like Seth Rogen, Gaten Matarazzo, Woody Harrelson, and more. Andy Serkis himself will also be voicing one of the animals, specifically the famously cynical Donkey Benjamin. According to the film's IMDb page, Serkis has been attached to Animal Farm for over a decade, with the project first officially announced back in 2012. He's directing the film from a screenplay by Nicholas Stoller, best known for his work on The Muppets and Storks. Honestly, with this much passion behind the project and such a strong team, it might just be the most powerful animated film of the year. Then Lucasfilm has officially announced a new Star Wars animated series centered on Darth Maul, titled Maul, Shadow Lord, and is set to premiere on Disney Plus in 2026. The series will see Sam Witwer return as the voice of the iconic Sith Lord. The announcement was made during Star Wars Celebration in Tokyo, where Witwer joined Lucasfilm execs on stage to tease the project. He also clarified where the show fits in the wider Star Wars timeline, explaining that it takes place a year after the Clone Wars, which puts it between the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy. At this point, Maul's criminal organization has crumbled under the pressure of the clone army, and though he still has some loyal followers, it's nothing like before. The galaxy is in chaos. People are scared and uncertain, and Maul is left watching the rise of the Empire, a future he partially foresaw but didn't expect to take this form. He was in on his master's plan, but only partially. The series is said to include and used ideas from George Lucas, and one of the major storylines will involve Maul training a Red Twi'lek apprentice, who appears to be heavily inspired by Darth Talon. Interestingly, in George Lucas' original sequel trilogy plans, Darth Talon was envisioned as one of the main villains. So this series could be bringing that concept to life in a brand new way. Honestly, this could be one of the darkest and most intense Star Wars projects we've seen in animation. Fans of the Clone Wars and Rebels are definitely in for a treat. And a long-form Star Wars anime series titled The Ninth Jedi has also been officially confirmed and is set to release on Disney Plus sometime in 2026. The series is based on the popular episode from Star Wars Visions Volume 1, which was created by the Japanese animation studio Production IG. That episode introduced fans to a galaxy where the Jedi have disappeared and lightsabers have become rare and mysterious. It followed a young girl named Kara, whose father builds lightsabers in secret. When he's captured by dark forces, Kara must step up to protect the Jedi legacy and discovers her own connection to the Force. With the new series expanding that story into a full-length anime, it's the perfect chance to explore what happened to Karen next and how the Jedi could rise again in a broken galaxy. Fans love the unique animation and fresh take on Star Wars lore, so turning it into a full series honestly feels like a win. Then new look at Cartoon Saloon's upcoming film, Julián, is revealed. The film is set to be released in 2026. Then the Nintendo Switch 2 price in the US will not be changed and remain at $449. However, other accessories for the Switch 2 will experience price adjustments. Then first look at LEGO Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. Pieces of the Past has been revealed. Ashley Eckstein will voice Brickhead's Ahsoka, and Ben Schwartz will voice Jack's son. It is set to release on Disney Plus on September 19th. Then the Indonesian animated film Jumbo has now surpassed Disney's Frozen 2 to become the highest-grossing animated film ever released in Indonesia. Frozen 2 had held the record with 4.63 million admissions, but Jumbo managed to surpass that after just 20 days of its release, and it has now crossed 5 million admissions. Not only that, Jumbo has also become the first animated film to break into the top 10 highest-grossing Indonesian movies of all time. And like I mentioned in a previous Flick News, No original animated film in the country had ever even reached 700K admissions before. So yeah, Jumbo's numbers are seriously impressive. It has currently grossed 199 million Indonesian rupiah, around 11.8 million US dollars. Now let's take a look at some streaming dates. Mighty Monster Wheelies Season 2 will stream on Netflix on May 2nd. Zoki of Planet Ruby will premiere on Nickelodeon starting on May 10th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Cocomelon Season 13 will stream on Netflix on May 26th. And Mermicorno Starfall Season 2 will premiere on Max on May 15th. Then the first look at Monster High, World Scare, has been revealed. It's a brand new comic book series by IDW Publishing and Mattel, and it's set to hit bookstores this July. This is great news for Monster High fans who've been waiting for something fresh. The comics might give us deeper stories and new adventures beyond what we've seen in the shows and movies. Then Sonic X Shadow Generations, Dark Beginnings, has won Best Animation at the 2025 Webby Awards. This is just a huge win for the Sonic fan community and the animation team behind it. Then according to a new report from The Wrap, Paramount is planning to produce Sonic spin-off films alongside the next sequel. While a Shadow the Hedgehog spin-off would be absolutely perfect. The character makes the most sense to focus on after the events of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, especially considering the post-credit scene. There's also a chance we'll see more of Knuckles. Paramount could go for a second season of the series, or maybe even a full-length Knuckles movie. And honestly, that could be a great move. A movie would let them expand on the scale and ideas introduced in the show, and even bring in new characters from the Sega universe, like Team Cadix. After 3 movies, Paramount has only scratched the surface of Sonic's massive world. The Blue Blur has a huge supporting cast, and while we already know at least 2 new characters will appear in Sonic the Hedgehog 4, there's still a ton of fan favorites they could introduce, like Rouge, Silver, Fong, and even Big the Cat. Spin-offs would give these characters the spotlight they deserve without cramming them all into Sonic's main story. And honestly, if Paramount plays their cards right, they could build a full-blown Sonic cinematic universe. Let's just hope they don't mess it up. Then Tom Hanks has officially begun voice recording as Woody for Toy Story 5. In a new behind-the-scenes photo posted to his Instagram, he is seen in a recording booth holding up 5 fingers while standing in front of a microphone, indicating he has begun voice work on the Toy Story 5. Then first look at Walt Disney Animation's new short film Versa has been revealed. It follows a young couple that lives in a range of emotions, from loss and mourning to supreme joy, while embarking on an ethereal cosmic dance of life. Then PS5 rentals are becoming a popular option in Japan, offering a budget-friendly way for gamers to experience the console without buying it. You can borrow a PS5 for 2 weeks at around just $12.50. Yeah, that's insanely cheap. It's a smart move for those who just want to try out a few games or can't afford the console outright. Then Haley Steinfeld recently confirmed that they are well into making Beyond the Spider-Verse. She said, "You gotta trust the process. If there's one thing I've learned with that, is that you put it in their hands, you're going to end with something masterful." Then the Stranger Things animated spin-off series that was in the works at Netflix now gets an official title, Stranger Things Tales from 85. And Netflix will host an animated series studio focus session at the Annecy Film Festival on June 12th, featuring a first look into Dr. Seuss's Horton, Blue Eye Samurai Season 2, Magic the Gathering, Ghostbusters series, Minecraft series, and Haunted Hotel. Then a live-action Toys R Us movie is officially in the works, and the project is currently in early development. Toys R Us Studios is teaming up with entertainment company Story Kitchen to produce the film, which is being described as a whimsical, high-energy adventure in the spirit of Night at the Museum, Back to the Future, and Jumanji. The goal is to capture the excitement and imagination that made Toys R Us a magical destination for generations of kids. Story Kitchen co-founders Dimitri M. Johnson and Mike Goldberg said that as 80s kids who grew up seeing Toys R Us as one of the most magical places on Earth, we're thrilled to help bring this brand to life on screen. The movie will celebrate over 70 years of Toys R Us history through a fun and nostalgic lens that aims to connect with both kids and longtime fans. Casting and director announcements are expected in the coming months as the team begins reaching out to filmmakers. Honestly, if they nail the tone, this could be a really fun ride down memory lane. Then in a recent interview, Tim Allen revealed some exciting plot details about Toy Story 5. He says there's an unbelievable opening scene with Buzz Lightyear's, which appears to be the same sequence whose footage was shown at D23 Brazil 2024, featuring an army of Buzz Lightyear. Allen also confirmed that Woody and Buzz will reunite in the film and mentioned that the story will focus a lot on Jessie. He said, "There's a lot of real intrigue with Buzz. Jessie's got big trouble, she needs help, so it's a really cool thing." So from what it sounds like, Buzz kicks things off in a big way, and then the story shifts its focus to Jessie, which is honestly a great move. She's always been an underrated character. And that's a wrap for this week's news. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care.